Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the English Learning Podcast. I'm Jason, your host.
And I'm Julia, your co-host. We're so happy you're joining us today for another great conversation to help you improve your English.
That's right. Today's topic is something almost every English learner thinks about. Should I focus more on fluency or accuracy?
Yes, it's a big question. Many learners say, I want to speak fast and confidently. Others say, I want to speak correctly without grammar mistakes. So what's more important?
In today's episode, we'll explain what fluency and accuracy really mean, why both are important, and how you can find the right balance in your own English learning journey.
We'll also share examples, tips, and real-life situations to help you understand when to focus on fluency and when accuracy matters most.
So, grab a notebook, relax, or maybe take a walk while you listen. And let's dive into this important topic together.
Let's get started. Fluency versus accuracy. What should you focus on?
All right. Before we talk about which one is more important, let's first understand what we mean by fluency and accuracy.
Yes, so let's start with fluency. What is fluency, Jason?
Fluency means speaking smoothly and easily, without stopping too much. It's about the flow of your speech. Even if you make small grammar mistakes, you can still be fluent if you speak clearly and keep the conversation going.
That's a good point. A fluent speaker might say something like, he go to the market yesterday. It's not 100% correct, but the listener still understands the meaning. The speaker is confident and keeps talking.
Exactly. Fluency is also about rhythm, natural speed, and not thinking too hard about each word. It means you can speak without translating everything in your head.
Now let's look at accuracy. Accuracy means speaking with correct grammar, vocabulary, and pronunciation. An accurate speaker says things the right way, even if they speak more slowly.
Right. So, using the same example, an accurate speaker would say, he went to the market yesterday. That's the correct grammar. But if it takes them a long time to think before they speak, they may not sound fluent.
So, to make it simple, fluency speaking smoothly and naturally, accuracy speaking correctly with good grammar and vocabulary.
Yes, and here's a way to remember it. Fluency is about speed and flow, and accuracy is about rules and correctness.
Both are important, but most learners usually have more of one than the other. Some speak fast but make mistakes, and others speak correctly but very slowly.
That's why today's topic is so helpful. We'll talk about how to improve both fluency and accuracy, and when to focus on each skill.
Great! In the next part, let's talk about what English learners struggle with the most when they're trying to speak. Is it grammar? Is it speaking fast? Let's find out.
So now that we understand what fluency and accuracy mean, let's talk about something very real: the struggles English learners face when trying to improve their speaking.
Yes. One of the biggest problems I see is this. Learners are afraid of making mistakes, so they don't speak at all. They wait until everything sounds perfect in their head.
Exactly. I've heard students say, I don't want to speak because my grammar is not good. Or, what if I say the wrong word? That fear stops them from practicing, and that's a big problem.
Yes. And on the other side, some learners want to speak fast, so they don't worry about grammar at all. They speak fluently, but sometimes it's hard to understand what they mean.
Right. So here's the question. Is it better to speak a lot, even if you make mistakes? Or should you speak less, but try to be correct every time?
That's the exact struggle. And it depends on the situation, right? In a casual conversation, fluency might be more useful. But in a job interview, accuracy really matters.
Totally agree. Another struggle is thinking in your native language. Many learners try to translate each word before they speak English, which slows them down and hurts fluency.
Yes, and that also causes mistakes. For example, if you think in your native grammar it might not match English grammar, that's where accuracy becomes a challenge.
Let's ask our listeners, do you find it hard to speak fluently? Or do you focus too much on grammar and stay quiet?
We'd love to know. You can leave a comment and share your experience. Don't worry, you're not alone. Every English learner has this problem at some point.
And the good news is, you can improve both fluency and accuracy. In the next part, we'll talk about why fluency is important and how it helps you become a confident speaker.
Yes, fluency first. Let's jump into that now.
All right, let's talk about fluency. Why is it so important?
Fluency helps you communicate your ideas clearly and confidently. Even if you make a few small grammar mistakes, people can still understand you if your speech flows naturally.
Yes, that's a key point. Fluency means you're able to keep the conversation going. You're not stopping after every word to think about grammar or vocabulary.
Think about real-life situations, like talking to a friend, ordering food at a restaurant, or asking for help in English. You don't have time to think for 30 seconds before speaking.
Exactly. In these moments, fluency is more useful than perfect grammar. People don't expect you to be perfect. They just want to understand you.
Here's an example. Imagine you're traveling and you say, "Where is bus station?" "I need go." It's not perfect English, but it's fluent enough to get the message across. People will understand you.
Yes, and you'll feel more confident too. When you speak fluently, you feel good because you're part of the conversation. You're not just sitting and thinking, you're talking.
And confidence builds more fluency. The more you speak, the more natural it becomes. Your brain starts to think in English, not your native language.
That's true. Another benefit is that fluency helps you become a better listener. When you focus less on forming each sentence, you can pay more attention to what the other person is saying.
Fluency also helps with storytelling. You can share your ideas, experiences, or opinions without getting stuck on each word. That makes conversations more fun.
So if your goal is to communicate with others, express yourself, and feel confident, then fluency should be a big part of your learning.
But remember, fluency doesn't mean no mistakes. It just means you can speak smoothly, with confidence, and be understood.
Exactly. And in the next part, we'll talk about accuracy, why grammar, vocabulary, and correct language also play an important role in your English journey.
Yes, let's see when accuracy really matters.
Now that we've talked about fluency, let's focus on the other side, accuracy. Why is accuracy important?
Accuracy is important because it helps you say exactly what you mean. If your grammar or vocabulary is wrong, your message might be confusing or misunderstood.
Yes, and in some situations, mistakes can actually change the meaning. For example, saying "I have a dog" is very different from "I had a dog." One is now, and the other is in the past.
Exactly. So when you want to be clear and precise, accuracy really matters. This is especially true in professional or academic settings.
Right. Like when you're writing a formal email, giving a presentation, or doing a job interview. In those moments, even small mistakes can make you sound less professional.
And good accuracy shows that you understand English well, not just that you can speak fast. It shows your hard work and attention to detail.
Also, improving your accuracy helps you avoid bad habits. If you always say things the wrong way, they can become difficult to fix later.
Yes. For example, some learners always say "he go" instead of "he goes." If they don't correct it early, they'll keep saying it, even after years of practice.
That's why accuracy is also important for long-term progress. It helps you build a strong foundation in English.
And it helps your writing, too. When you speak accurately, you usually write better as well, because you know how sentences are supposed to be structured.
So even if accuracy feels slow at first, It's really valuable. It gives you the tools to express yourself correctly, clearly, and with confidence.
Exactly. So if your goal is to pass an English exam, give a speech, or write something important, then accuracy is key.
So now we've seen both sides. Fluency helps with flow and confidence, and accuracy helps with correctness and clarity.
But which one should you focus on more? That's the big question, and we're going to talk about that next.
So now we've talked about both fluency and accuracy. Now comes the big question. Which one should you focus on first?
That's a great question, and the answer is, it depends. But in most cases, especially for beginners, it's better to focus on fluency first.
Yes, fluency gives you the confidence to speak even with mistakes. And that confidence is important in the early stages of learning. If you're always worried about grammar, you might never open your mouth.
Exactly. And remember, speaking is like a muscle. You have to use it. Fluency means you're practicing real conversation, and with time, your accuracy will improve too.
Right. The more you speak, the more you start noticing your own mistakes. Then you can go back and correct them. But if you don't speak at all, you won't know what you're doing wrong.
I always say, speak first, fix later. It's not about being perfect, it's about being part of the conversation, and fluency helps you do that.
That said, there's a time when you must focus on accuracy, especially if you've been speaking English for a while, but keep making the same errors.
Yes, for intermediate or advanced learners, improving accuracy can really level up your speaking and writing skills. It makes you sound more natural, more professional.
So maybe here's a good way to think about it. Start with fluency to build confidence and practice. Then add accuracy to polish your English and sound more correct.
That's a great summary. Focus on fluency to get your ideas out. Focus on accuracy to say them in the best way.
Exactly. So it's not about choosing one forever. It's about finding the right balance based on your level and your goals.
And in the next part, we're going to talk about how to balance fluency and accuracy in your daily practice.
Yes, this is where things get practical. Let's help our listeners build a smart learning plan. All right, Julia, let's make this real for our listeners. Let's look at some everyday situations where fluency or accuracy becomes more important.
Great idea. Let's start with a casual conversation. Imagine you're at a coffee shop and you meet someone who speaks English. You want to introduce yourself and make small talk.
In that case, fluency is more important. You don't need perfect grammar. You just need to keep the conversation going. Something like, "Hi, I'm from Brazil. I like coffee too. What's your name?"
Exactly. Even if the grammar isn't perfect, the message is clear and friendly. Now let's take another situation. Say you're writing an email to your boss or applying for a job.
That's when accuracy is more important. You need correct grammar, spelling, and sentence structure. Something like, "Dear Mr. Smith, I am writing to apply for the position of marketing assistant. Please find my resume attached."
Very clear and correct. If you say, "I want job, please," resume here. It sounds too informal and may not create a good impression, even if it's fluent.
Absolutely. Another example, traveling abroad. You're at an airport, and your flight gets delayed. You need to ask for help.
Fluency helps more here. You can say, "Excuse me, where is gate 7? My flight delayed. What can I do?" Again, not perfect, but people will understand you quickly.
Now imagine you're taking an English test, like IELTS or TOEFL. That's where accuracy and fluency are both important. You need to speak clearly, but also use correct grammar and vocabulary.
Right. These tests score you on both. You can't just speak fast. You need to speak correctly and clearly.
Let's do one more. You're giving a presentation at school or explaining a project at work. What do you think matters most?
In that case, it's a mix, but probably accuracy takes the lead, because you need to sound knowledgeable and clear. But if you pause too much or read from notes, your fluency will suffer too.
So in real life, it's really about context. Ask yourself, do I need to connect quickly? Or do I need to be 100% correct? That helps you decide which skill to use more.
Exactly. And remember, both skills are important. Your goal should be to use the right skill at the right time.
Beautifully said. Now, let's move to the practical stuff. How to balance both fluency and accuracy when you practice every day. Now, let's talk about some practical tips for improving fluency. Because fluency isn't something you can learn overnight. It takes practice.
Definitely. First, speak as much as possible. Don't wait until you feel perfect. Even if you make mistakes, just keep talking. Find language partners, join online communities, or even talk to yourself in English.
Great tip. Also, you can shadow native speakers. Listen to podcasts, watch movies, or YouTube videos, and repeat what you hear. It helps you practice the rhythm and flow of English.
Another tip is to practice thinking in English. Instead of translating everything from your native language, try to think directly in English. This will help you respond faster and speak more fluently.
Yes, and don't focus too much on perfect grammar when you're speaking. Fluency is about getting your ideas across. As you practice more, your grammar will improve naturally.
And if you're not in an environment where people speak English, you can record yourself. Speak on a topic for 2 to 3 minutes, listen to it, and see how you did. It's a great way to track your improvement.
Good one. And lastly, try to learn and use common phrases or idiomatic expressions. This will make you sound more natural and fluent in conversations.
Fluency comes from the practice of speaking regularly and continuously, so make it part of your daily routine. The more you speak, the more confident and fluent you'll become.
Exactly. And don't worry too much about making mistakes. The key is to keep going, and fluency will come over time. Now that we've covered fluency, let's shift gears and talk about accuracy. It's not just about speaking quickly. It's about getting it right.
Exactly. So the first tip for improving accuracy is to study grammar and sentence structure. It's essential to understand how sentences are built. Knowing the basic rules helps you avoid mistakes.
For sure. And remember, practice makes perfect. So when you learn a new grammar rule, try to use it in sentences right away. Write or speak about your day using the new grammar point.
Great advice. Also, expand your vocabulary. The more words you know, the easier it is to express yourself accurately. When you don't know a word, you might end up using the wrong one.
Right. And here's a fun one. Get feedback. Whether it's a language partner, a teacher, or even an app, getting feedback on your mistakes will help you see where you need to improve.
Yes, and you can also use resources like grammar checkers or apps that focus on correcting mistakes. Tools like Grammarly can help you spot errors in your writing and explain them.
One other tip is to slow down when speaking. Accuracy doesn't always come when we're in a rush. Taking your time to form correct sentences will make a big difference.
Exactly. And finally, review your mistakes regularly. Write down your most common errors and practice them. This helps you remember the right way to say things.
So to summarize, study grammar, expand your vocabulary, get feedback, slow down, and review your mistakes. It takes effort, but over time, your accuracy will improve.
Absolutely. And remember, it's all about balance. Accuracy will improve as you keep practicing fluency, and fluency will help you speak more accurately.
All right, Julia, we've covered a lot today. Now, let's talk about the most important thing, how to balance both fluency and accuracy in your learning.
Absolutely. It's all about finding that sweet spot. Too much focus on fluency can mean you speak quickly, but with lots of mistakes. And too much focus on accuracy can make you hesitate or overthink your words.
Exactly. A balanced approach means you practice speaking and understanding fluently, but you also take the time to correct mistakes and make your English sound more natural and accurate.
Here's a great strategy. Try to focus on fluency in your first practice sessions. Let yourself speak freely and make mistakes. But then, in your second round of practice, focus on accuracy, go back and fix the errors you noticed.
Yes, and remember, you don't have to choose one over the other forever. As you get better at speaking, you can start mixing both. Speak fluently, but also be mindful of your accuracy.
It's also helpful to set goals for both. For example, you might decide, today, I'll focus on speaking quickly in English without worrying about mistakes, and another day you might focus on perfecting your grammar.
By balancing fluency and accuracy, you become a more confident and effective communicator. You're speaking comfortably, but you're also saying things the right way.
And remember, both fluency and accuracy are skills that improve over time. The key is to practice both regularly and intentionally.
So, whether you're a beginner or more advanced, finding your balance will help you keep progressing and avoid getting stuck on just one aspect of your language learning journey. All right, everyone. Now that we've discussed the importance of both fluency and accuracy, it's time for your listener challenge. Here's what we want you to do.
We challenge you to spend the next week focusing on one of these aspects in your practice. For the first few days, focus on speaking fluently. Don't worry about mistakes. Just speak freely and get your message across. Then, for the rest of the week, focus on improving accuracy, slow down, and make sure you're using correct grammar.
And remember, the goal is to balance both. So, if you find yourself overthinking during your fluency practice, don't stress. Just keep going, and in your next session, focus more on the accuracy.
We'd love to hear how you're doing with this challenge, so leave a comment on our YouTube video, send us a message, or share your progress on social media with the hashtag #Fluency versus Accuracy.
Also, if you found today's episode helpful, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, rate us, and share this with a friend who might need a little extra help in their English learning journey.
And if you want more tips, tricks, and fun challenges to boost your English skills, make sure to check out our other episodes. Keep practicing, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. That's how we grow.
Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll be back soon with more tips to help you on your English learning journey. Take care, and good luck with your practice.